So I was reading this book. It's called The Expectation Effect. And there was this study that was mentioned in it that really stuck with me. The study was done in Singapore, and it was looking at what happens when people believe they're poor or that they will be poor in the future, even if that belief isn't true. The researchers had participants perform an aptitude test that was supposed to predict their future success or lack of success. Now, the test itself was fake because obviously you can't predict the future. But after the test, the participants were told that they had scored low, which meant they were likely to experience financial stress and struggle in Singapore's competitive society. And what happened next was really interesting. The people who believed that they had scored low in this aptitude test, that they were in the future to experience financial stress, actually gained less satisfaction when eating food. So they ate more than they normally would have, almost like their body had gone into survival mode, trying to stock up calories for hard times. What struck me wasn't actually the result of the study, although it was very interesting. The part that actually made me think about making this video was where it said that Singapore has a very competitive society. When I read that, I thought, yeah, that makes sense. It's one of the most wealthiest countries in the world. There's a lot of rich people. There would have to be a lot of pressure to be successful. But then I started thinking about Australia. Is Australia competitive like that? Because when I look around at the people in my life, my friends, family, the people I grew up with, none of them are wildly successful or unsuccessful. They're just normal. They have a regular job, a mortgage. They're not rich, they're not poor, they're just normal. If majority of the people around us are just regular Joes, why does it feel like you're behind? Why does it feel like you should be doing a lot better than you are? And I think the answer is pretty simple, and it's probably something you've heard before. But if you feel that way, you're probably comparing yourself to other people. Specifically, a very small percentage of high achieving, maybe a little bit fake people on social media. I mean, we all do it. We know we shouldn't compare ourselves to others. We know it's unhealthy, but we all do it, me included. And when your reference point is millionaire influencers, crypto billionaires, and all these super young people who have it all figured out by 25, of course you're going to feel behind. But it really isn't a fair comparison because, first of all, social media is probably 90% fake. And even what is real on there is just the highlights of people's lives. They very rarely show the struggles that it took to get to where they are. You're not seeing the years of missed payments or the content that no one watched or the financial stress that they experienced while they were building the life that they have now. So even the people who aren't faking it on social media and they are really successful, they've had to take a lot of uncomfortable action to get to where they are. And when you don't see that, I think it can make it look really easy. And then you think, well, I should be able to do that. Why aren't I doing that? So when you compare your behind the scenes life to everyone else's finished, polished product, it's, of course, you're going to feel behind. And I want to be really clear here, just because most people aren't legitimately successful doesn't mean that we need to be like that. You should have big dreams and big goals, and you should want more for yourself. There's nothing wrong with wanting to create wealth or get fitter or build a comfortable, freeing lifestyle. But the problem is, if you convince yourself that you're behind everyone else while you're on your journey to getting those things, you're making yourself miserable for no reason, and you're delaying your happiness. You turn progress into pressure. You stop appreciating the progress you have made because you're so focused on how far you still have to go. And the irony is that mindset actually makes it harder to succeed. It doesn't help you because instead of being motivated, you're just stressed. Instead of being patient, you're frustrated. Instead of enjoying the process, you feel like you're constantly failing, even when you're moving forward. So I'm sure you will have heard people say, don't compare yourself to others, just compare yourself to who you were yesterday. It's a nice thought. I get it. But in reality, it's really hard to do. And personally, I think it's something we're supposed to use for good. But so often comparing ourselves to others brings us depression and negative thoughts. It makes us feel terrible. So here's a more realistic way to look at it. If you are going to compare yourself to someone, compare yourself to the average people around you, the people in your life, not the top 1% that you see on social media. Because the reality is, a lot of people don't have much money. A lot of people don't exercise regularly. A lot of people aren't thinking long term about their health or their finances. So if you're going to the gym or exercising in any way, you're trying to improve yourself even slightly, then you're doing better than a lot of people, than most people. But that doesn't mean you stop aiming high, as I mentioned. It just means you stop beating yourself up while you're on the journey to those big goals, those big dreams. Just because you're not driving a Lambo, you're not making 6 figures, it doesn't mean you're failing. I mean, look around you. Do you see many Lambos? Do you see many people driving G-Wagons? No. It's really odd when you see it because it's rare. Most people don't have that much money. And it's important to remember that you're not behind. The thing is, you need to remember, you don't need to be rich right now. You don't need to have it all worked out right now. You definitely don't need to be perfect right now. You're actually never going to be perfect. I hate to break it to you. The most important thing is that you're moving forward, not that you are doing better than someone else. Because trust me, there will always be someone doing better than you, no matter how successful you are. So you can't use that as your benchmark because you will never be satisfied if that's your mindset. So when this mindset of feeling like you're behind, like you're failing, when that creeps into your mind, just ask yourself, am I really failing? Am I really behind? Or am I just comparing myself, my boring, unfiltered life, to the polished highlight reel of something I've seen on social media? Or maybe just an unrealistic idea in my head of where I should be or where I think everyone else is. And remember, if you're working on yourself physically, financially, mentally, or even just one of those things, you're doing better than most people. Even if it doesn't look impressive yet. Remember that, okay? It's not a finished product. You want a finished product. When you're halfway through building a house, do you really think people look at that and go, man, that guy's got a shit house? No. They go, he's not done yet. Unfortunately, we don't think that way when it comes to our life and our happiness. And the great thing about changing your mindset about how you're going in life is that you can actually enjoy life now rather than waiting till you have the things that you really want. You can enjoy life now. It's crazy, right? You can want more for your life, but still appreciate where you are and what you have. You can be ambitious without suffering. It's taken me a long time to learn that. It's this balanced mindset that will keep you sane and motivated on this super long journey that you're on. And it's what's actually going to give you the best chance to succeed. So that's my take on the mindset that you need if you want to succeed. And it even rhymes. See you in the next one.